Hi guys, NCWQ here, and we have another article. Israeli aircraft accidentally released thousands of moss piglets into outer space. This article states the Israeli aircraft Bereshit may be living up to its name in an unexpected manner. By bringing life in the form of nearly indestructible animals called tardigrades, also known as water bears or moss piglets, to the moon. The Bereshit lunar lander was a glorious effort that nearly succeeded. After 8 years and $95 million, it failed its final moments when a gyroscopic failure sent it crashing onto the moon's surface at over 300 miles per hour on April 11th. The mission was thought to be a complete loss, but scientists announced this week that there may have been survivors, moss piglets, a micro animal in the cryptobiotic dehydrated state. The moss piglets were placed aboard the lunar lander by the Arch Mission Foundation, AMF. Nova Spivak and Nick Slavin founded AMF in 2015 when the goal of creating multiple redundant repositories of human knowledge around the solar system. Toward this end, AMF built a special lunar library payload for Bereshit containing a DVD-sized archive constructed of 25 thin sheets of nickel and containing a staggering 30 million pages of information. Almost as an afterthought, Spivak added a thin layer of epoxy resin between each layer containing human DNA samples and stuck to a piece of tape several thousand dehydrated tardigrades. Tardigrades are water-dwelling, 8-legged, segmented microanimals about 5 millimeters long. They are commonly known as water bears. They are among the most resilient animals known, found almost everywhere, even in the most extreme environments, able to survive exposure to extreme temperatures, extreme pressures, both high and low, air deprivation, radiation, dehydration, and starvation. Tardigrades have survived all 5 mass extinction events that have occurred in Earth's history. Moss piglets are one of the few groups of species that are capable of suspending their metabolism. They can also go without food or water for more than 30 years, only to later rehydrate, forage, and reproduce. In 2007, a NASA experiment determined that tardigrades were the first known animals to survive in outer space. After being dehydrated, a batch of tardigrades was launched into low Earth orbit. For 10 days, they were exposed to the hard vacuum of outer space and solar radiation. After being rehydrated back on Earth, over 68% of the subjects revived within 30 minutes following rehydration and were able to reproduce. Scientists have revived tardigrades after as much as 10 years in this dehydrated state. It was for their incredible durability that they were chosen by the Arch Mission Foundation to be passengers aboard the Israeli moon mission. In an interview with Wired, Spivak announced that an assessment by his team of experts concluded that the library could have survived the crash intact, and that the tardigrades as well, ironically our payload, may be the only surviving thing from that mission, Spivak told Wired. Spivak assured the public that there is no reason to worry about the tardigrades taking over the moon. In order to survive, the tardigrades from Bereshit must be rehydrated in some place with an atmosphere. The possibility of space missions infecting other planets is a real concern and is a purview of NASA's Office of Planetary Protection. Missions destined for space like Mars, where life can survive and may already exist, are subject to stringent sterilization process. Missions to the moon are not, since they consider the possibility of survival or infection minimal or non-existent. As a result of this policy, Apollo missions have left several hundred bags of human feces on the lunar surface. Even the hardy little moss piglets would not be able to survive on the moon, but the possibility of life traveling from one planet to another, referred to as panspermia, has been the focus of much speculation. Panspermia is the hypothesis that life exists throughout the universe, distributed by meteoroids, or, as in the case of tardigrades on the moon, by spacecraft. Proponents of the theory suggest that surviving organisms could become active and begin to colonize their new environment. Evidence to support the theory has been found on meteoroids and is considered a valid possibility by many scientists. Panspermia does not conjecture about the origin of life, only on how it may be spread throughout the universe. It is interesting to note that the lowly tardigrade was the subject of sci-fi panspermia. A 2017 segment of Netflix produced series Star Trek Discovery featured a larger-than-life sentient tardigrade character as an essential element to the interstellar spore drive. Like its micro origins, the Federation tardigrade was virtually indestructible and could enter a cryptobiotic state. Star Trek recognized the tardigrade's formidable nature and had it kill dozens of Klingons. In the end, the tardigrade was released into space to wander the cosmos. So even though the lunar tardigrades are a clear case of actual man-made panspermia, there is little chance outside science fiction that the tardigrades from Beresheet could rehydrate and reproduce, unless, of course, the crash sent them flying in the directions of the bags of the astronaut poo. Anyways, you guys, hope y'all are doing well. Hope you enjoyed this article. Much love, and we will talk to you again soon.